Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will check out this particular very simple project, which is a project in our Eclipse IDE, and then we will check how we can connect with Git, how to deal with Git, how to upload the changes and get the changes from Git. So something interesting is coming up. Alright, so this is a very simple project where we only have this class hello world, and if we try to run this, then definitely the output is hello world. Now for example, we would like to work in a team, we would like to upload the project on Git, then how we can make changes, how we can upload the changes on Git. The answer is very simple. Eclipse do provide us a interface, a provision using which we can upload the changes, we can connect with Git. Now when it comes to Windows 10 and the current version of Java I am using is Java 1.8, we need not to install Git on Windows. But when it comes to older version of Windows like Windows 7 or Windows XP, we may have to install Git explicitly. Alright, so now let me highlight this project. Let me right click, and in here we have this option of team, and one of the option is share project. Alright, now friends, when you will do this particular configuration for the very first time, so you need to create a repository. So let me create a repository, otherwise you may also get the drop down. Alright, so in our case we will create a repository to start with. We will give name as demo-repo. Alright, let me click on finish. Let me click on finish once again. Now as soon as we click on finish, there are like couple of changes made in here. Inside the bracket we can also see this particular name, demo-repo master. This means that the name of our local repository is demo repo, and as of now the master copy, the original copy of our project, is inside our demo repo repository. Alright, now there are like couple of question marks and there are like couple of arrows in here. In order to commit the changes, I will again right click, navigate to team, and in here we will have this option as commit. Let me commit the changes, and as soon as I use this option, there will be this Git staging interface in front of you. Now even if you are not getting this interface, the option to get into this interface is window, show view, and you can search for Git staging. Alright, so this is here. Alright, let me cancel this change. Let me expand this particular interface. Now whatever changes, whatever files we want to upload, we want to make the changes and we need to update the changes on our repository, we need to simply select those files. In our case, as we are doing it for the very first time, we will select all the files and we will drag them inside this particular window which says staged changes, and then we will commit and push. Now as soon as we will click on this button, commit and push, this will give us this message, you must enter a commit message. Now what is this message? Inside this message we must specify why we have made these changes and couple of details related to the changes, and this message would be there maintained in history as well. So our message could be like first commit. Here we go. Let me click on commit and push. Now in here there are two buttons. First button is commit and push. If I click on commit and push, then the changes would be committed in our local repository and the changes would be also updated on our remote server. And if we simply commit, then definitely only the changes would be committed and the changes won't be uploaded on the server. Alright, so in here we will click on commit and push. Now as soon as we click on this button, it will ask us for location of our remote server, right? So how to get the location of the remote server? We don't have a remote server. What to do? Now in order to understand this, we will navigate to Google. In here, if you search for GitHub alternative, then you will get couple of options using which you can create these remote repository. In our case, we will make use of GitHub. Alright, so let me close this particular tab and we will navigate to GitHub. Let me also log out from my account. Alright, now friends, using this particular website we can create numerous repository. The public repository are free. Let me show you the pricing. For developer, team, business cloud, enterprise, there are like pricing, but for public repository for open source projects, GitHub is absolutely free. Here is the message from GitHub. GitHub is free to use for public and open source project. Work together across unlimited private repository with a paid plan. So in our case, we will go with public repository. Alright, let me click on sign in. You can definitely sign up and create a free account. It's an usual sign up process. No explanation is required. It is very simple. When it comes to choose your plan, you can select whether you want to go with public or private repository, and based on the plan you need to give your payment details, or you can also skip giving the payment details. Alright, so there are like a couple of things. You can also provide your experience and things like that. Alright, in our case we already have the account, so we will quickly sign in to our account. Alright, and let me create a new repository, and we will give the name as Hello World. Alright, so this is good. This would be a public repository. If we select this private option, then it will ask us for credit card details. We don't want that. And let us create this repository. Alright, this is cool. This is nice. Let me copy this particular URL. Alright, let me minimize this. Alright, so in here, we will give the remote name as GitHub repo. Alright, so this seems to be a good name. Let me give the URI. Everything seems to be good enough. Alright, so in here now we need to give the username and password. Let me quickly give the username. Username is my email address, and password. Let me click on next. Alright, so I will keep everything as default. Let me click on next. It is trying to connect. Alright, so I guess there is some kind of issue with username and password. Let me retry. Alright, and alright, so this is good. It is asking me for security question. As of now, we don't need it. Let me click on finish. Alright, so this will now push the changes on GitHub. Alright. Alright, so this is good. Now let me minimize this. Alright. And now let us navigate to GitHub. Alright, so now let me quickly refresh this particular page, and we can see that we were able to commit our changes on GitHub. This is amazing. All the changes are there. Let me also show you the file, which is helloworld.java. Here is the file. Alright, so this is good. Now friends, the length of the video is pretty high, so we will again continue our discussion on GitHub setting up. There are a couple of more things which I need to discuss with you. Alright, so this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.